Hello, beautiful beings. I want to talk about one of the biggest limiting beliefs that anyone can ever have, just in general. And I think this is important. I mean, right now we're all diving deep. Right now we're all kind of figuring out what is going on within ourselves. We're being forced to dive deep. We're being forced to go to levels that we've never gone to before. If you have a piece of paper and a pen, I recommend that this is a video to get that out there, to write some stuff down, because I want to talk really about purging out our old limiting beliefs. You cannot rise to the peak of your potential. You cannot move to the fifth dimension frequency without fully aligning yourself to the present moment. And you can't be fully aligned to yourself in the present moment if you're still hanging on to old limiting beliefs. Before we get into what the number one biggest limiting belief that any freaking starseed or old soul or any single one of you are carrying around with you, I want to talk about what is a limiting belief, right? It's so crazy. I have been going so freaking deep with all of my clients, all of my masterclass students, and the first thing that we always go into is, where are the blocks? Where are the imbalances within your system, your aura, your energy, your chakra system? And how is that correlated to past lifetimes? So a limiting belief is basically a very untangible thing. Okay, it's a programming that you created a long time ago. And yes, I could say that a lot of the programming was created in childhood, but you're way older than that. You are way more than just this lifetime. The majority of your limiting beliefs are created from past lifetimes. And that's why limiting beliefs are so freaking untangible. You know you're being blocked. You can't move forward. You don't know where the block is coming from, and yet it's still there. It's like that thorn in your side that you just can't get out because you don't even know what it is to begin with, right? I do want to say too that the biggest way to release a limiting belief or a block or an old paradigm is to actually be aware of it. Knowledge, I believe, will set you free. If you all of a sudden understand that aliens exist, you're going to start to have interdimensional experiences, right? So just kind of being aware that that knowledge of the block, of the limiting belief itself alone will actually allow you to release that. And so my intention for this little, video is to make you aware of a limiting belief and a block that most likely you have that will relinquish you from that limiting belief and unlock aspects of your DNA so that you can move forward. Once again, this is going to be a video where you're going to want to get a notepad and a pen out. Okay, so that's basically what a limiting belief is. It's an old paradigm, it's an old program within your reality that is holding you back from living your best life. And a lot of the limiting beliefs are directly correlated and related to self-sabotage mechanisms, right? So I'll give you a good example of self-sabotage. And really, self-sabotage is just a symptom of your limiting belief. So if, say, for example, your limiting belief is, I'm not good enough to be loved. That's a really key one. That's not the main one that we're going to talk about today, but that's key. That's huge for a lot of humans. I'm not good enough to be loved. If that's your limiting belief, then guess what the self-sabotage is going to be? In every single relationship, whether it be platonic or romantic, but especially romantic relationships, you're either going to attract the wrong partner, someone who is emotionally unavailable, someone who cannot support you in the way that you need to be supported, right? And then within that relationship, you are going to create a mechanism, self-sabotage. Maybe your romantic partner is a wonderful person. Maybe he or she can give you everything that you need. But you know what you're going to do in your own mind because of that limiting belief, that block, and that self-sabotage? You're going to convince yourself that that person is going to cheat on you. You're going to convince yourself that it's too good to be true. You're going to convince yourself, and I'm sure all of you have done this, you're going to convince yourself that they really don't love you and that there's some ulterior motives going on. And therefore, you bring it up to them. You're like, you know what? I don't know why. I just don't trust you, right? You don't realize that it's not them that you don't trust. It's actually yourself that you don't trust. Hence the self-sabotage. The self-sabotage of you basically saying, you know what, I'm not good enough to be loved, so it's impossible that you can love me. Therefore, I don't want to accept the love that you have for me because I don't deserve it anyway. Do you see how much of a clusterfuck you can get yourself into by having a limiting belief that you're not even aware of and that you're perpetuating in every moment of your reality just to validate the fact that you have this limiting belief to stay safe in your reality? Because it's safer for you to sabotage yourself, to bring you back into this energy of, I'm not good enough to receive. I'm not good enough to be loved, right? So I'm not just talking about the symptoms. Oh, why can't I ever get my dream job? Why can't I ever move out of my parents' house? Why can't I ever have a relationship that's serving me? Those are all symptoms. They're symptoms. The more you're caught up in the symptoms of your reality, the more you are distracting yourself from the real issue, which is deeper than that. It's that limiting belief, okay? So I'm going to talk about the biggest limiting belief that the majority of you are all holding within yourself that is actually holding you back from living your best life. And I want to say that the symptoms of this major limiting belief are two major things. If you are suffering from these symptoms, please comment in the comment box below, all right? But I almost guarantee that 90% of you are all suffering from at least one of two, probably both of these symptoms of this major limiting belief. The first biggest symptom, I haven't even talked about the main limiting belief that I'm going to talk about, but here are the symptoms first, right? Because most of you will be so focused on the symptoms, you won't even know why, you keep perpetuating this reality, all right? The first symptom coming from this mystery limiting belief is you're not confident in yourself. You have a hard time loving yourself. And because you have a hard time loving yourself and being confident in your human, you are always saying that you need to lose weight, or you're always saying that you need to make more money, or you're always saying that, you're not supported by your reality, or you're always thinking that, oh, did I say the right thing? Did I say or do the right thing? And should I have said that? Should I have not said that? You're questioning yourself so deeply. This lack of confidence is a huge symptom for this one limiting belief, okay? Lack of confidence in your human. And that permeates every aspect of your physical reality. And basically what happens when you're not fully in trust and in full confidence with yourself, every single aspect of your reality starts to suffer. Your job, your home life, your relationship. Because you're sabotaging every aspect of your reality to prove to yourself that yes, indeed, oh, this is why I'm not confident in myself, because I need to get rid of that weight. Oh, this is why I'm not confident in myself, because my boss doesn't support me. Oh, this is why I'm not confident in myself, because of childhood issues. And yeah, those can all be symptoms, but once again, until you get to the bottom line limiting belief, you're never going to be able to overcome the symptom. The more you're like, oh, well, I'll love myself and feel confident once I lose the weight. I'll love myself and feel confident once I get hired. It doesn't work that way. You need to love yourself before that. And I'm going to tell you why you probably have a hard time loving yourself. All right, it's important. All right. The second main symptom of this huge limiting belief that we've all been, especially starseeds and old souls, we've all been hanging on to. The second main symptom, guarantee that most of you have this, okay, is the lack of ability to maintain your spiritual gifts. And I'm going to repeat that. The other main symptom, other than just loss of confidence within yourself and not really knowing who you are, okay, is not being able to fully be as psychic and as spiritual or spiritually gifted as you know you are. Does anyone else have issues? Maybe you've had incredible spiritual, divine breakthrough psychic moments before, but you've had an issue maintaining that vibrational level. You've had an issue being in full control of your spiritual gifts, which is wild. I'm talking about literally the binary of the two biggest symptoms that are holding you back, that are blocking you from living your best life. And the craziest thing is that these two things that are holding you back, one of them is extremely physical, right? Lack of confidence within your human. And the second is extremely non-physical, is being able to integrate and connect with the higher vibrational frequencies and your spiritual gifts. So how does one limiting belief all come down to these two things, these two huge things in your life? I'll tell you exactly what it is. And right before I tell you exactly what this limiting belief is that I almost guarantee that you're all holding within yourself, I just want to say that this video is so important and this information is so important because for the past 3 months especially, every single client I've had, every single individual I've spoken to are all dealing with this one limiting belief coming from a variety of past lifetimes. This limiting belief is so deep within you that it's not just coming from childhood, it's not just coming from one past life, it's not just coming from one trauma, it's perpetuated over and over and over again. Okay, here it is. Here's the limiting belief, right? That's creating all these distress symptoms in your life. Essentially, here's what it is. All right, I'm going to try and explain this in the best way possible. As a soul, you volunteered yourself to come to this planet. You could have been an 11th dimensional Anunnaki. You could have been, most likely were some sort of 8th dimensional Palladian. Maybe you were a 7th dimensional angel, right? Maybe you were a 6th dimensional gray. Maybe you were an Octurian, Andromedan, Yael, whatever, right? But you came from a very highly awakened, intuitive, spiritually advanced lifetime. And you chose to volunteer your soul here to lose all of your memory of who you really are. So, when you came to this planet, you had a mission, a very clear mission. I'm here to help humanity. I'm here to awaken the humans. I'm here to shake things up. I'm here to help people realize who they really are, right? All of you, especially you listening right now, okay? You found me, which means you're finding yourself, which means this applies to you right now, okay? You came here with a clear mission. And what happened? The fall of the consciousness on the planet happened. And all of a sudden, everyone lost their memories. And I mean, that kind of happened right away, right, in being born here. And you remembered who you were. You remembered your mission. You knew what you needed to do. So what did? You did it. You broke yourself away from society. You let go of your religious beliefs. You became, and probably always were, in these past lifetimes, the black sheep of your family, the odd one out in your village. And time and lifetime and lifetime and lifetime again, you stood up for what you believed in, which went against the very grain and indoctrination of society. And what happened? Either you rose to the peak of your potential and you became an incredible powerhouse, an incredible awakening force within humanity in that lifetime, or you got kicked out, you got chastised, you got persecuted, you got sabotaged, you got sacrificed time and lifetime again for being different, for having a mission, for thinking outside of the realm of this reality. You started strong. You started with a clear mission. And yeah, it got worse and it got worse and it got worse. And the vibration of the planet got lower and lower and lower. But you were still fighting and you were still pushing. And eventually, you understood as a soul that in order to be a human, in order to conform, in order to make money, you needed to let go of and drop your spiritual gifts and abilities because you were never supported in being your true self. So it was either always one or the other. It's been a very long time. I want to remind your soul that it has been a very long time since you have remembered who you are and you have felt safe enough to be that essence. So what have you done in the past probably 10, at least 10 lifetimes? You have decided to conform. You have decided to just be a mother. You have decided to just be a farmer. You have decided to just be a human being in whatever role that is. And I want to remind you that when you decide to just play it safe, you get complacent. And that complacency leads to restlessness, it leads to anxiety, and it leads to depression. Because deep down within you, your soul is screaming out, saying to you, there is something more to your existence. There is something more that you need to be doing, and you're not doing it. And yet that fear of stepping out, that fear of being your true self has held you back in lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. And when you have stepped out, when you have risen to the occasion, when you have been the truest expression of your soul, you've been persecuted, you've been cast out, you've been poor, you've been homeless, you've been jailed for being your true essence of yourself. So you have chosen as a soul, based on the vibration of the planet, you have chosen to block your own spiritual gifts until you feel safe enough. But it's kind of a catch-22. It's kind of a double-edged sword. When you are human, you feel depressed because you know there's something that you're missing. And when you just choose to be human, you lose all confidence in yourself because you try all of the things that society tells you to do. Oh, well, maybe if I have a boyfriend, maybe if I have a good job, maybe if I'm making good money, maybe if I buy that brand new car. Nope, I'm still not happy. Nope, I have the kids and I'm still not happy. Nope, I have the dream life and I'm still not happy. Right? And that leads to a ton of lack of confidence and lack of trust, not just within society, but within yourself. You know that there's something missing within you, but you can't put your finger on it. And that leads to that symptom of lack of human confidence, lack of confidence within yourself, which once again permeates into every essence of your reality. And then you perpetuate the existence that you're not good enough. Okay? The other symptom that I talked about is not being able to fully access your spiritual gifts. Why? Why can't you access your spiritual gifts? Why can't you be a psychic fucking badass that you know that you are? Because you're protecting yourself. You're keeping yourself small for a reason to keep yourself safe. You are perpetuating survival. And the reason why you're doing so is because every single lifetime that you've ever allowed yourself to be different and spiritual and psychic as fuck, you've been persecuted for being that way. It's no fun to be here and be jailed. It's no fun to be here and be limited. We all know that. So you're choosing to limit yourself before you are forcefully limited by others. That is everyone's, not everyone, but the starseeds, the light workers, the ambassadors, the souls who volunteered yourself to be on this planet. That is your greatest limiting belief. Is the fact that you know you're here for a reason and you don't know why because you've lost your memory and you struggle with the interpretation of your soul in a human body. You've never before had a lifetime, and if you have, it was a long time ago, where you have been just as human, just as grounded, and just as connected to Source. And I'm here to tell you and remind you, because you already know this is nothing new for you. I'm here to remind you that this is your life. This is your life to thrive. This is your life to express. This is your life to experience. This is your life to be so psychic and so tuned in, and yet so simultaneously compassionate towards your human body and this physical reality. This is your lifetime where you can have it all. It doesn't have to be just one or the other. I'm here to help you unlock that DNA within you that is protecting you from rising to the peak of your potential. Not only are you ready to soar and to balance and to be the great equalizer in your own life, but humanity is ready for you as well. All of those beings who didn't necessarily volunteer themselves to be here, all of those beings who have kind of just been a human, right? The sheeple of the world, in a sense. They need you. They need us more than ever before. And by you understanding that you can thrive as a human and your bank accounts can thrive simultaneously while you tune in to the limitlessness of the universe, that's when you are unstoppable, and that's when you become a true master. And also, that's when you complete some of the most traumatic experiences that you've ever had on this planet. And whether you have a grand mission right now at this time or not, most likely you are in cosmic retirement. Most likely you signed up to be here just for the ride, just to see things transpire, just to see things finally unfold in the way that you've been pushing for in life after life after life. You are ready, and I'm here to remind you that it's okay. You are safe now to be the fullest expression of your soul. And humanity's here to cradle you in that safety and to accept you in all of your weirdness. We need you to step into your power and to realize that you are a grand piece in this beautiful collective conscious puzzle. And with that, I leave you all today. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Once again, it's time to value the cosmic and the spiritual just as much as you value your human and this beautiful 3D reality that we can all simultaneously enjoy together. Bye for now.